Ego was in here a bit ago, and she was saying that she was struggling in returning your serve, especially when it got slower.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering if you noticed that at all tactically, that sometimes slower serves can throw off the rhythm of an opponent, and it's something you can use as a weapon, even if it's not a powerful weapon.
Yes, I have never really been the biggest server in comparison to a lot of the girls here. So I do my best to use my serve as an advantage. You know, I think I have a lot of other strengths.
What if the biggest story at Wimbledon wasn't the player who lifted the trophy? What if it was the player who had already gone home? The moment Alex Eala walked off center court after her heartbreaking defeat to Jasmine Paolini, something unexpected happened. Social media exploded. Fans weren't asking who would win Wimbledon anymore. They were asking one question: why does the tournament suddenly feel different without Alex Eala? It sounded impossible. How could a 21-year-old from the Philippines, playing in just another Grand Slam, become one of the biggest attractions at the world's most prestigious tennis tournament? But once you see what happened inside Wimbledon and across the world, you'll understand why many believe Alex Eala didn't just play at Wimbledon. She changed it. When Alex Eala arrived in London, she wasn't among the favorites to win the title. She wasn't the defending champion. She wasn't the world #1. For many casual fans, she was simply another rising talent hoping to make a deep run. But within days, everything changed. Every victory created more headlines. Every match attracted bigger crowds. Every interview spread across social media. Then came the moment that stunned the tennis world. Alex Eala defeated defending champion Iga Swiatek, not in a lucky performance, not because Swiatek had an off day. Eala played fearless tennis against one of the greatest players of this generation and proved she belonged on tennis' biggest stage. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know the same thing. Who is Alex Eala? And once people discovered her story, they couldn't stop watching. Something extraordinary started happening around the All England Club. Practice courts that usually attracted only a few spectators suddenly became packed. Fans lined up long before she even arrived. People waited simply to watch her warm up. Volunteers noticed it. Security noticed it. Tournament organizers noticed it. Whenever Alex Eala appeared, the atmosphere completely changed. Even experienced tennis journalists admitted they had rarely seen anything quite like it. The buzz surrounding her felt bigger than many of the established stars. Not because of marketing, not because of controversy, but because people genuinely connected with her. Then there was the Filipino support. It wasn't just loud. It was unforgettable. Philippine flags suddenly appeared everywhere around Wimbledon. Each point she won echoed with cheers that sounded like she was playing at home instead of London. Commentators couldn't ignore it. Other players noticed it. Fans from different countries began cheering for her too. It no longer felt like one nation supporting one athlete. It felt like the entire tennis community had discovered someone special. Back home in the Philippines, the excitement reached another level. People woke up before sunrise. Families gathered around televisions. Restaurants and sports bars stayed packed. Public viewing parties filled with thousands of supporters watched every point together. Every match became a national event. Millions weren't just watching tennis. They were witnessing history. Because Alex Eala wasn't simply chasing victories. She was becoming the first Filipino player in the Open era to reach the second week of a Grand Slam. That wasn't just a personal achievement. It was a historic moment for an entire country. What made everything even more remarkable was the way she played. Alex Eala doesn't overpower opponents with the biggest serve. She doesn't rely on impossible winners every rally. Instead, she frustrates opponents. She chases balls others give up on. She extends rallies. She forces mistakes. She makes every point feel like a battle. Her intelligence, her movement, her determination, those became her greatest weapons. And fans absolutely loved it. Because every match felt unpredictable. Every point mattered. Every comeback seemed possible. Then came the round of 16. Standing across the net, Jasmine Paolini, one of the toughest competitors left in the tournament. The match delivered everything tennis fans hoped for. Momentum shifted constantly. One player took control, then the other answered. 3 intense sets. Endless pressure. Neither player willing to surrender. Alex Eala fought with incredible courage. She refused to quit. She pushed Paolini to the limit. But eventually, Paolini found one final gear, one final ace, and Alex Eala's incredible Wimbledon journey came to an end. Normally, that's where the story ends. A player loses. The tournament moves on. Fans focus on the next match. Except, that didn't happen. Instead, something completely unexpected unfolded. Social media wasn't dominated by discussions about the remaining favorites. It was filled with tributes to Alex Eala. People weren't talking about who survived. They were talking about who had left. That almost never happens at a Grand Slam. Yet Wimbledon suddenly felt as though one of its biggest attractions had disappeared. Even respected tennis analysts couldn't stop talking about her. Some called her exactly what modern tennis needs. Others described her as one of the sport's brightest new stars. Several admitted they had never witnessed this level of excitement surrounding a young player from a non-traditional tennis nation. One analyst even suggested the attention around Eala rivaled, or exceeded, that of several top-ranked players. That's an astonishing statement, especially considering she had not won the tournament. The secret behind her popularity wasn't difficult to understand. She felt authentic. She smiled naturally. She remained humble. She spoke openly about pressure. Instead of talking only about herself, she talked about her parents, about sacrifice, about ordinary Filipino families working hard every single day. She reminded everyone that athletes aren't the only people carrying pressure. That perspective resonated with millions, because success hadn't changed who she was. Her journey also carried another powerful message. Representation matters. For decades, Grand Slam champions usually came from the same handful of tennis nations. Alex Eala challenged that belief. She showed young athletes across Southeast Asia that dreams don't have borders. You don't have to come from a traditional tennis powerhouse. You don't have to follow someone else's path. Sometimes, you create your own. And that's exactly what she did. Her story actually began years before Wimbledon. She trained at the Rafael Nadal Academy. She steadily climbed through the junior ranks. She earned respect tournament after tournament. Then came another breakthrough, the Miami Open. She defeated IGA Swiatek there too. Suddenly people realized, this wasn't luck. This wasn't a one-time miracle. Alex Eala kept proving herself against the world's very best. Each tournament added another layer to her reputation. Each victory made believers out of skeptics. By the time Wimbledon arrived, she wasn't simply chasing an upset. She was becoming a genuine contender. Perhaps the most impressive part wasn't even her tennis. It was her maturity. At only 21 years old, she handled enormous expectations with remarkable calm. Interviews never felt rehearsed. Her answers stayed thoughtful. She celebrated victories without arrogance. She accepted defeat without excuses. That combination is incredibly rare. Fans respect talent, but they admire character even more. Alex Eala gave them both. As her popularity exploded, something else happened. People who rarely watched tennis suddenly tuned in. Children started asking about tennis lessons. Parents introduced the sport to their families. Communities gathered around public screenings. Entire audiences who had never cared about Wimbledon before suddenly couldn't miss a single match. That's something every sport desperately hopes for. An athlete capable of bringing in completely new fans. Alex Eala became exactly that. Tournament organizers undoubtedly noticed. Television ratings climbed whenever she played. Practice sessions attracted unusually large crowds. Media requests multiplied. Photographers followed her everywhere. Everywhere Alex Eala went, people followed. Not because they were told to, because they wanted to. That's real star power. And it's something rankings alone can never measure. Then came the heartbreaking ending. The final handshake. The applause. The walk-off center court. No celebration. No trophy. No championship speech. Yet somehow, it still felt like the beginning. Because although Wimbledon continued, many fans admitted the tournament no longer felt exactly the same. The energy had shifted. One remarkable story had reached its conclusion. But everyone already wanted to know, when would Alex Eala return? Looking ahead, the future seems even brighter. She's already proven she can defeat Grand Slam champions. She's already shown she can perform under unimaginable pressure. She's already inspired millions of people around the world. Those aren't qualities coaches can teach. They come from resilience, experience, belief. And Alex Eala has all three. Her ranking will continue to improve. Her game will continue to evolve. But perhaps her greatest achievement has already happened. She reminded the world why sports matter, not just because of trophies, not because of statistics, but because one athlete can unite an entire nation, inspire millions of children, and make complete strangers believe that impossible dreams are actually possible. When Wimbledon crowns its next champion, history will remember the winner. But many fans will also remember something else. The young woman from the Philippines who walked into the All-England club as a promising talent and walked out as one of the brightest new stars in world tennis. Sometimes greatness isn't measured by lifting a trophy. Sometimes it's measured by changing how people feel. And judging by the unforgettable atmosphere she created, Alex Eala didn't just have a breakthrough tournament. She may have changed the future of tennis forever. If this is only the beginning of her story, the rest of the tennis world should be paying very close attention.